An NFL reporter is easy.
Let's go.
Look at Kmart. These two guys are going to start getting into it. They're mad.
Whoa, guys. Break it up, guys. Whoa.
Are we sure that you were breaking it up, or were you instigating?
No.
Throw a hand.
You know why?
Throw a hand.
You know why? Because I was like, listen, I'm on a deadline. I was trying to do a post-game interview with Deion Dawkins, and I was like, this whole fight is messing up my flow. Like,
You were in the back talking about, he all talk, Deion. He all talk.
He was talking about you all day.
Get him, A-Sean. That's what you said. You said A-Sean.
Genuine look of concern. Whoa.
Pop that top, A-Sean, and take care of business. That was what Kimberly was saying. I know it.
I don't know much about anything.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
I say this.
They don't pay me enough, man.
I say this
They
as
don't
a
pay me
person
enough.
who has quite literally never been in a fight in my entire life.
Not a shot.
Can you fight when you lost 40-9?
No.
Like, isn't there
That was Deion's point.
Hold on.
40-9.
Is there a better time? I lost one. Yeah. I'm not going to lose two.
Before it got to 40-9, he should have fought a little more.
Yeah.
Before it got to 40, when it was like 10-9.
That game was over. After the game, this is game two.
Game
two of the series.
I didn't mean to sideline us there with the etiquette question, but I thought it was interesting. All right, we're Get Up. We have a huge hour coming up. Eduardo Perez live from L.A. on the World Series. But let's start looking ahead to Week 9. We're on a Week 9 watch. Peter, what are you watching this week?
I know all eyes were on Lamar or Huntley, but gosh, I saw a thing that I recognized. That was a Ravens defense, and it showed up last weekend against the Chicago Bears. Ravens defense got Roquan Smith back. He looks tremendous. Alohi Gilman is now playing safety, meaning that Kyle Hamilton can be the chess piece we expect him to be. And when they needed it most, right here, Nate Wiggins made the play of the season, an interception that would lead to a touchdown. I don't know if it's Ed Reed and Suggs and Ray Lewis just yet, but I saw something that looked like a Ravens defense.
And they need it. Kmart, what are you watching Week 9?
Different AFC North team. Can the Steelers actually upset Jeff's Colts? This would be the kind of game that the Steelers would win, where we'd be like, wait, how did they just beat the Colts? This defense has been disappointing over the last two games. 922 yards given up in the last two games. They've given up 30 points 4 times, and they've only played 7 games. So they need, this is quite a test for them, but I'm going to be looking to see if they can pull it off.
It's a great weekend slate. That's a very interesting game. Neek, obviously, KC and Buffalo. What are you watching for?
Oh, it's a measuring stick game for the Bills right now. I think they've had some surprising losses, and this defense has been kind of poor so far this season. But I think we forget all that if that O-line can pave the way in the rushing attack and they can get a win against Kansas City. We start to forgive some of those previous things, and I think they start to believe in themselves again. The way that this season started, the Bills were one of the favorites. They had an easy schedule. This offense was figured out. The defense will create turnovers. None of those things have kind of come to fruition as consistently as we expect from a good team.
So sometimes in sports conversation, we try and dumb things down, make it as simple as we can. Let's smart things up a little bit here. So you were a part of a rivalry that reminds me a lot of this, right? Chiefs, Bills, Allen, Mahomes. You were part of that. Colts, Patriots, Brady, Manning.
Yeah.
The playoff games, there were so many of them. And obviously those mean everything.
Right.
So what do the regular season games mean? I mean, beyond seeding, which we all understand is important,
it's still enormous.
What do they mean?
You're gleaning the information for what it's going to look like in the future, right? You're figuring out what's their weak spot and how are we going to exploit this, not only for that game, but in the future, right? Because you know it's about matchups. Like when you watch people play other opponents, you can't always take something because you don't do similar things. So you're seeing, hey, this is what they wanted. The Patriots, how they wanted to play Peyton Manning, right? They wanted to play rush 3, drop 8, or whatever their formula was for that time. That's what these teams have to see. And I would say from the Bills side, which is from the Colts side, when the Chiefs keep getting their number, right? The Patriots kept getting our number. We realized physicality in the run game were going to be kind of the way that we had to open that up. It would open up the pass game, but we had to be physical. That's what Buffalo has done. They go get a good offensive line. They got James Cook. You have to put pressure on him because not only are you being able to score points, but you're keeping Mahomes off the field. Very similar to how we had to play Tom Brady and that Patriots team.
I guess I get it, and all of that is great. What I'm trying to get at is the Bills keep beating them in the regular season and then losing in the playoffs. So I've got people. Chris Russo yesterday said the Bills need to win this game because Josh Allen he never gets it done. But the point I'm trying to make here, as I take myself into a terrible Mad Dog imitation,
I thought it was pretty good.
It was good, Greeny. It was good.
is if they beat them in the regular season, like I don't even know what psychological difference it makes. We keep beating them and then we keep losing.
However, what you're not asking is on the other side.
Okay, yeah.
If they lose to them.
Okay.
So I think that beating them consistently in a regular season does help. It's something.
Yes.
It's better than losing to them in the regular season. And to Jeff's point, you learn what they think of you.
Right.
Because you see, you get a look at their entire game plan. You learn where they think you're weak, how they think they can take advantage of you. And that gives you, I think, the advantage going into the postseason. It hasn't worked out for them for whatever reason. We can go back to those games and point to single plays here and there.
That's right.
It's not because the Chiefs were like definitively better than them every single time. And I think part of that, being able to be competitive in those situations, comes from showing yourself and showing them that we can beat you.
You were with the Bills last week, and you were there trying to break up a fight.
Yeah.
Were they already talking about Kansas City?
No. A lot of guys in the locker room, I talked to Dion on the field about, how critical was it to get this win as you turn the page and look at Kansas City. He's like, we're not even focused on Kansas City right now. Obviously, you know that their whole season is we're looking at Kansas City.
Right.
But here's the thing. Going into that game, I talked to players like Greg Russo about their run defense and how they were second worst in the NFL in stopping the run, and they were going up against Rico Dowdle, who to that point had been a monster. Well, they shut them down, and two guys, Larry Ogunjobi and Michael Hoyt, came off of suspension to join the Bills' defensive line, and that did do something. Now they've lost Ed Oliver. So when you're looking at the pieces that they have, their run defense isn't fixed, but I was encouraged based off of how they performed, and then you add in the James Cook element. They're 10-1 when James Cook goes over 100 yards. So I think the Bills are in a good spot.
One of the pressure points in Buffalo, whether it be on talk radio or all offseason, was they don't have that number one wide receiver.
Yep.
They don't have that guy that can take the top off. And if you're going to be in a shootout with the Kansas City Chiefs, can you rely on just giving it to James Cook? Can Shakir do it? And I've spoken to Brandon Beane, the GM of the Bills, several times. Their whole mantra is everybody eats. Everybody eats. And they invested their money in the offensive line, they invested their money on defense, and they invested their money in a quarterback and a running back. That said, if they're going to keep up with this Chiefs offense, which looks electric right now, like they look like they were in 2021, 2022, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman
is the one that really wins.
These guys, someone needs to step up because Kincaid's banged up. You can't just rely on your tight end. And we know that Josh Palmer got hurt a couple weeks ago. So it's like one of these guys needs to step up if you're going to score it. I think it's going to be a shootout in this game.
Yeah, when I look at strategies, though, like from the Bills' perspective, in my opinion, a shootout is not the direction you want to go.
They don't want to go there.
Right. You don't want to go that way. It's going to be tough to win. And Mahomes, for whatever you think about how good he is, if he's the greatest ever, the dude don't lose when it comes to shootout time. He finds ways to get the ball last, even in miracles. I mean, we saw it in playoff games, miracle stuff. So
one of my favorite players in the NFL from the time I got to see him play against South Florida when he was at Wisconsin about 7-8 years ago or whatever it was. This guy has got power. He's got speed. He was a guy who people were knocking him. One of the reasons why JT fell is because people thought his ball security wasn't good enough, and they didn't think he'd be a threat out of the backfield as a receiver. He is the total package. He's with an offensive line that is playing nasty right now. And the dude is look, the guy has over 20 runs of 10-plus yards already this year.
Jeff.
Don't ask Jeff what he
Jeff, you're in. Okay, fair enough. Come on. Let me move on to the next one because we used up a lot of our. Let's get to one more here. Lewis, if I said Jordan Love is ready to lead the Packers to a Super Bowl, what say Lou?
I say you're absolutely right.
Wow.
A year ago, we were on here and we were talking about, look, if you could pick one young quarterback at that time, I think it was back in the spring, who you would say you would want to start a franchise with, who would you pick? And I said it would be Jordan Love. Wow. Because the dude is just as smooth as silk. He is being taught by a very good offensive-minded coach that has a very good scheme, a very good top-down approach to quarterback development and offensive development, and you're seeing it all now come to fruition. He has got young weapons. He's got an offensive line. He has got a beast at running back, and he's playing with ridiculous confidence. I think really the Super Bowl in the NFC is you're going to have to play in Green Bay late.
Wow. What do you think, Peter?
I cannot wait for 2 weeks from now, Monday Night Football, because I look at it as the defending NFC champions and also the Super Bowl champion Eagles with all this friction and all this heat around them right now that there's so much drama, and yet Green Bay, everyone's on the same page. They're ascending. It's cool.